Judge is a better version of Brock Lesnar.
What is something you love as much as the Charmin Bears love wiping?
As an opposing fan, you'd probably see his face and want to sock him between the cracks. Good evening and welcome to Losses Above Replacement, the greatest baseball podcast, 2 greatest years. I'm today's host, Matthias Altman Kurosaki, and with me, we just have one co-host today. We have Alex Clark, Alex the sports guy. First things first, Alex, how are we doing on this fine Wednesday evening? As you know, I'm in a different recording setup. You may be able to see my face a little better. Maybe it's a little cleaner back there, but how are you doing today, Alex?
We're doing all right. Been a bit of an interesting week. Sunday was definitely one of the days of all time for Seattle. And I'm just going to tell you right now, it's not my moment to myself because of something else that might be a little bit obvious here for those that know me as well. Here, I want to bring up, though, I'm off Blur. Normally, I have Blur for these things here. I have my chair just sitting on my bed. This is on purpose, believe it or not. So that's normally the chair that I record in. It broke a couple days ago. And so now I have a replacement temporarily. Friend gave it to me. Thank you so much, Sarah. But we put it on my bed for just a little bit to see what happened. And my cat Gigi loves it. Like, absolutely loves being on it. She's been asleep in there for hours, but also keeps looking at me whenever I look at her again. But she loves the little tent idea. So, where there is a problem, there's also a chance for an opportunity.
And, anything can become a toy for or a house for a cat.
Absolutely.
My sister's cat. So this room right here is also my sister's little office, like her workspace. And her cat normally hangs out in here, but I was asking her if it'd be okay for her to stay in here, but she was like, well, Kiki might get a little restless, might start clawing at the door and stuff, and that might not be a great idea.
Listen, what we need to do, we need to have a stream where both of our cats are on air at the same time. That would honestly be really funny. To make happen.
Oh my God, that'd be. We should just let them host, actually.
Honestly, I would agree, except Gigi will not stay on camera. I know this for a fact.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what my cats would do on camera. They do a lot of weird things.
Cats do in fact be doing that. So
yeah, they're interesting animals. But yeah, other than that, one of my brothers is in town for a couple days. That's also why I'm recording in here. Yeah, that's fun. Other than that, I watched the football on Sunday.
There definitely was football on Sunday.
Between that was after the snow started falling. We got a lot of snow this week. This is the most
just
snow
a little bit.
This is the most snow I think we've gotten here in New York, at least in Manhattan, since I was like a senior in high school.
Right.
So yeah, it was. I mean, I'm honestly impressed because it feels like here every time they're like, oh my God, we had this huge snowstorm coming, and then it's like, barely anything on the ground. But this time it like legitimately covered the street. Like I walked over to my friend's place to watch the football games on Sunday, and there were some blocks that were like already pretty well shoveled, and other blocks where like it was impossible to move. Maybe it's because I don't have great snowshoes. But it was interesting.
I get that. Yeah. It has not snowed at all where I'm at, and I'm very okay with that. It has only gone below freezing a few times.
It's here. Like colder than Alaska here right now.
Yeah. Which makes
freezing.
No sense to me. Yeah.
Dude, oh my God. I 2 weeks from today, I'll be in Fort Lauderdale on a training trip, and I'm like, I think that needs to get here faster because I need to get out of this cold weather right now.
It's weird to me. Like, I don't, as again, geography not my thing here, but like hearing that Florida is getting like snow still like blows my mind.
Yeah, like, parts of that state, it happens from time to time.
I mean, I just always know it as being the muggiest place in the country.
Oh, trust me. During the summers, it is. I spent many summers training in Florida, South Florida in particular. It rains all the time. It thunderstorms all the time. but it is also blistering. The humidity is through the roof. But yeah, it's it's an experience. But yeah, that I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so we did get some baseball news that broke at the very end of our last live stream.
Why does this always happen?
Legitimately,
the news breaks within minutes of our podcast ending.
Yeah, it's funny because the folks at Mesmerize were recording a podcast that night, and apparently the news broke like 15 minutes into their recording, which is so they were live reacting obviously to it, but yeah, it was like literally the very end of our show, and the news breaks that the Mets had acquired or were working on acquiring Freddy Peralta from the Brewers, and now it did become official about 30 minutes later. Mets got Freddy Peralta and Tobias Myers from Milwaukee in exchange for shortstop / center field prospect Jet Williams and right-handed pitching prospect Brandon Sproat, who did make his major league debut this past fall. But this is a blockbuster deal. I kept saying the Mets, if they're going to get an ace, is going to have to be through the trade market. It seemed Tarek Skubal was coming off the board because there was no way the Tigers are going to trade him with that super high asking price. But I think the Brewers seemed like a fit from the start. This is David Stern's old team. And I said previously, people have to be a little patient with David Stearns because, the Brewers did not see instant success with him. But in January of 2018, within days of each other, the Brewers signed Lorenzo Cain, and then Stearns swung the blockbuster to get Christian Yelich from the Marlins. This sort of feels like it's the Mets version of the Christian Yelich deal.
I can definitely see that.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Mets desperately needed an ace to sort of alleviate Nolan McLean from some pressure. You don't necessarily want to put a 24-year-old in his first full season in the majors leading the rotation, which I really believe Nolan McLean can be an ace, but it's nice to have someone else, a veteran, who can sort of lead the rotation with them. So yeah, they give up Sproat and Williams, two of their higher ranked prospects, but this is a deep farm system, so they could afford to do that. And then they get back Freddy Peralta, Tobias Myers. Tobias Myers more of a swing man, but he's been pretty effective since getting picked up by the Brewers. But I guess, Alex, I'll go to you. Give me your thoughts on this deal.
Yeah, I'll be real. When I first saw the deal, I was initially just like, what are the Mets doing? Legitimately. Like, I understand, that, if you wanted an ace, you're going to have to probably go through the trade market here. I don't see Freddy Peralta as being at the level to where you're giving away two very high-level prospects here. But, because again, Jet Williams and Brandon Sproat are two, I think, still probably some of the best prospects the Mets have here. They're at least the ones that are getting closer to being MLB ready. And seeing that they're willing to give away both of them here, it tells me a couple things. The first thing it says is that, okay, we need to win now. We are trying to win now. But I will say very much on the Mets side, and again, to your point here, it demonstrated a really good show of where you're at the moment here, and having that awareness to say, look, we know we have a need. It's going to suck to lose these guys here, but we don't want to have Nolan McLean be, like our number 2 or 3 starter. We need to have a top of the end rotation guy, because we've made this argument time and time again till, we're purple in the face here, that it always does good to add an ace to your staff because it takes the pressure off of everyone else by moving everyone else down to slot the rotation. It improves every level of the rotation. So you need to make sure at that point that if you're going to add a pitcher here, or if you want to bump up someone else here, you got to make sure that you are putting the right person in the right slot. Because we've seen a lot of times a lot of pitchers that do really well as like the 4th or the 5th starters, but the moment that they're called like the 2 starter, heck, even the ace, they just fall apart. They can't handle it here. And no offense here to McLean here, I don't think he's ready yet. Again, he's a young guy. Give him some time. Let him mature a little bit here. But again, this is a move because I think the Mets know they are in win now mode. Here, you still have the big signing of Soto. You still have him patrolling, I guess is a good way to say. He's just kind of out there. In
I think
right
it's
field.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Patrolling is weird because it's like he's definitely not making great plays. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
here,
he's just there.
He that's the best way to describe it.
He stands in right field.
He definitely does.
He has a good throwing arm, at least.
I heard he has a Golden Glove.
He was a finalist for a Gold Glove.
I heard someone thought he was good at defense, but you added a lot of other pieces here around the inside. Here, you are very high on a lot of the other players. Alvarez being one of them. Here, you've really upgraded here around the outfield too. So it's like, okay, we're just gonna keep going. The biggest issue that I have overall, just with this, is that if you wanted top level starting pitching, you did not have to look too much farther than the current free agents that are out there here. Like, we've made the joke here that, the Stearns family, all that, are fully okay to spend. Then why aren't you spending? Here, you've got guys on the market like Framber Valdez, Giolito, Gallen, Chris Bassett here that are definitely going to cost you a bit here, but you also don't lose two of your best prospects here. I can see both reasoning on it here, but if you really needed an ace here, or at least a top level pitcher, I think there's easier ways to go than getting rid of prospects.
Yeah, here's my thought process here, though, is that so Sproat and Williams were both decently regarded prospects, but both of them have seen their stock kind of take a hit in recent years. Sproat was not particularly great in AAA. He was solid. He eventually got in a group, but he got off to a horrid start last year. His ERA was over 7 at one point. And he was decent in 20 big league innings, but he's probably more of like a mid-rotation guy going forward, not necessarily an ace. And Williams was great in AA. He was great in high A, but he really struggled when he got to AAA. And his batted ball data is super concerning. He wasn't hitting the ball particularly hard. He was hitting the ball on the ground a little too much. You look at all of his numbers, and they took a step back. And he had been leapfrogged in the farm system, Jacob Reimer and AJ Ewing in particular. And he doesn't really have a set position right now. Like, going forward, he's probably not athletic enough to play shortstop. He might be able to play second base. He might be able to play center field. But these are two guys the Mets were willing to give up because of the depth they have in the system. I mean, on the pitching front, obviously they have Jonah Tong still. Jack Winninger has taken a big step forward. RJ Gordon, Brandon Gurdon, Zach Thornton. Like, there's so many arms that are coming up through the system right now, whereas that makes Sproat expendable. And same with AJ Ewing. He's another second baseman or center fielder, super speedy, had a huge year, stole over 50 bases in the minors. Like, he's a guy who I think the organization now thinks of more highly than Williams. And I think for the Brewers, though, Jet Williams is the type of guy that fits their system. I think he's a better fit for the Brewers than he was for the Mets. He's a short, speedy middle infielder, and that's who the Brewers love. You look at their depth chart: Bryce Terang, Caleb Durbin, Joey Ortiz. It extends to the outfield too. Sal Frelick, that's their build, and I think they can turn Sproat into a solid big league pitcher. But I think you look at Peralta's coming off the best season of his career: 2.70 ERA in 33 starts, 204 strikeouts in 176 innings. He was 5th in the Cy Young voting. He made his second All-Star game. He has made 30 starts in 3 consecutive seasons now. This is a guy, I saw him carve up the Mets on opening day in 2024. He grew up a Mets fan too, if you wouldn't believe it. Like I said, they call him Fastball Freddy. He has great stuff. Really, he refined his repertoire this year, I think. So I think it's good. I know that he maybe isn't in like the upper echelon of guys like Skubal or Skeens or Crochet, but he's a solid one, I think, for this team. Like you're saying, I like Nolan McLean a lot. I don't think he's necessarily at the point where we can say, all right, that's our ace on opening day.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to give him time. And then you get Tobias Myers, who he can be a starter. but he also had a sub-2 ERA as a reliever this year. He was way, way better as a reliever. But as Mets fans may remember, by the way, it was a 1.9 ERA as a reliever. As Mets fans may remember, that Game 3 of the wild card series where Pete Alonso hit the 3-run homer off Devin Williams, Tobias Myers started that game and went 5 shutout innings. And before the Mets got to that Brewers series, before they got to that Game 161 against the Braves, Myers shut them down the last weekend of the season. So they've seen how good he can be. And it's crazy. This is a guy who was a waiver wire guy. I mean, he was traded by the Rays for Junior Caminero in a minor league swap. He didn't crack the roster in Cleveland. The Brewers took a shot on him, and here he is. He's in the majors. I think he's going to have a significant role on this team. But I think overall, I think both teams get a solid piece here. The Mets needed another arm. That was the bottom line. They actually have like 5 or 6 solid starting pitchers. I know there are questions about Kodai Senga. There are questions about what David Peterson can do this year. But I think it's a trade they needed to make. And now the next step is, can they find a way to keep Freddy Peralta in Flushing beyond 2026? I think the next step is you try to give him an extension.
Yeah, I think especially when it comes to McLean, like he's the guy that you do think is going to be your eventual ace here. He's just not there right now, and that's okay, right? Like it just takes a little bit of time. I'll bring another mini analogy here. The Mariners did the exact same thing in 2022, right? But this is at the trade deadline. You knew that you had a lot of really talented arms on your team. You had George Kirby. You had Logan Gilbert here. You had a lot of guys that were, capable of being aces here. But what you needed a little bit more of was veteranship and a guy that has been a bona fide ace beforehand. So what do? You go out and get Luis Castillo, and he anchors that rotation. Like, there's a reason why most of the time he still is the number 1 starter for this team. And it's not even because, of his skill, which, again, he is a very, very good starting pitcher. Is Wu better than him? Is Gilbert better than him? Yeah, probably. But you take a look at the guy that mentally-wise has been the number 1 guy for this team, it's Luis Castillo. When you needed one thing, when you needed to go out for a Game 1 start, who did they trust? Luis Castillo. That is what you do, and that is what they have done, and that's the importance of adding someone like an ace. You may have the people that you want to be the ace going forward later on, but until that point, they need an ace to learn from. And honestly, that could be another big thing from this, is that you probably going to want to have Nolan McLean working under Freddy Peralta for a bit. Freddy Peralta is a guy that's been around for a while. He has seen the playoffs a number of times. He has been a very strong pitcher there, even though a lot of times he's been overshadowed by some of the other pitching that the Brewers had, a.k.a. guys like Josh Hader, guys like Devin Williams, guys like Brandon Woodruff. Here,
Corbin
guys.
Burns.
Yeah, that was the next name I was going to say. Thank you. Yeah. And then, but now he is one of these, premier guys. So it makes perfect sense right now for him to be for Peralta to be added to this team here, especially now with the Mets trying to make a big run.
Yeah, and I mean, the biggest reason, obviously, everyone piles on the bullpen and the situational hitting, but the reason the bullpen wore down so badly late in the season was because the starters just weren't giving them length. They weren't reliable. They kept coming out in the 3rd, 4th, 5th inning way too early. Then the bullpen has to work get 15 to 20 outs. Like, it was too much to ask for out of the bullpen. And I think the bullpen has improved enough. I know it's obviously hard to replace Edwin Diaz, but they're able to get Devin Williams and Luke Weaver and Luis Garcia. Like, they're going to have AJ Minter back. It's one of these things though where I think getting another ace will help ease the load off the bullpen. I like this move a lot. The Mets also, I think David Stearns knew that he couldn't settle for what happened this past year. And he's shown he wants the team to be better. And I think I know the offense took some hits losing Alonso And they did trade Brandon Nimmo, but I think overall, I look at this roster and on paper, I think I like this team better than the 2025 team.
I think this team is very different.
Yeah, it's they're going to be productive. Yeah, like you said, they're going to be productive in different ways. You get more defense with Semien and Robert. You also get more speed with Robert. You get two guys who are really good situationally in clutch situations with Bichette and Polanco. Honestly, you probably get better. I know that Polanco's barely played first base, but you probably get better defense from him than you do Alonso. Bichette learning to play third base, that'll be interesting. But now you can put Brett Beatty in that super utility role. It's going to be interesting. I think Stearns is sort of building the Brewers in some way, but with a bit more of a budget and also a little bit more star power, I would say.
Yeah, and again, it's weird to say that in the year of our Lord 2026 that the New York Metropolitans are trying to model the Milwaukee Brewers. I feel like that's
it is kind of weird to say.
That's kind of an insane sentence, right? Like I'm not alone on that one.
It's also I was thinking about it. Like the Brewers are probably still going to find a way to win 90 games. Like the Brewers will still find a way to, if not win the NL Central, like they will make the playoffs this year. Just because it's the Brewers, they just find ways to win games.
They just make it happen.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
That's what's impressive.
Really crazy. Yeah, I know. Like you don't think of them as like this super star-studded roster, but they win games. They play good fundamental baseball and they get the job done.
That's the thing, right? Especially when it comes to me, and one of the reasons why I will always defend the save stat in at least some level way here is that at the end of the day, it is proof that you won the baseball game. You won the game because there is a save. Here, does that always mean that it is the best way for it? Absolutely not. I understand that, and I'm very okay with that. But it at least does have its place. That's where I'm going at here.
That also reminds me, the Mets did also sign Craig Kimbrell to a minor league deal. I'll say this one.
Okay, that one's funny to me. Actually, legitimately, that one's funny.
I'll say this. If Craig Kimbrell makes the major league roster, I might have to get a Craig Kimbrell jersey.
Absolutely do it. That sounds amazing.
So I do have a Craig Kimbrell Red Sox jersey from I think 2016 or so. But I would look, if Craig Kimbrell makes the roster and isn't just throwing batting practice, great. Am I expecting him to break camp? Probably not. But I just hope he lasts long enough in spring training that we can get photo evidence that Craig Kimbrell wore a Mets jersey. It's one of those things like Andres Galarraga. He was a Met at the very, very end of his career. Lee Smith in a Royals jersey. Like
one of the ones I would love to have, like a Ricky Henderson Mariner jersey.
Yeah, Ricky Henderson Mariners.
That would be incredible to own.
Yeah, I'm sure people have Ricky Henderson Mets jerseys because he was a monster for them in 1999.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah,
like I feel like there's a lot of he played for that team jerseys.
Exactly.
I'll still say the number one jersey I've ever seen for a player here, like the why did you buy this? I'm honestly impressed. As I saw with a Mariners Gerard Dyson jersey.
Whoa,
and I'm like, okay. One, kudos to you,
dude. That's great. Yeah.
If you got that on clearance, even more kudos to you, and even more kudos for having the cojones to go and wear that at a game.
I'm pretty sure
incredible.
One of my friends, one of my freshman year roommates, Rob, he's also like me trying to hit all 30 ballparks at some point, and he went to Kansas City, and I believe the jersey that he purchased at Kauffman Stadium was a Joel Payamps.
Oh my god!
Royals. I think it may have been a game worn jersey, but like that's the jersey he got. Like those are the. If you're a thread head, you're looking out for all the obscure jerseys. Like I saw Lastings Mills jersey in Syracuse once. Actually no. When I was in Fort Collins 3 years ago, I saw a Mark Ellis Rockies jersey. Someone wearing that. It was like, wow, I didn't know. I honestly forgot Mark Ellis played for the Rockies until that moment.
Oh my
But yeah,
gosh.
maybe we'll see Craig Kimbrell crack the roster. But
If he crack, like, I do think he's not. I don't think he's gonna crack it.
he's not going
I
to.
think what's gonna happen though is he's gonna have a few spring training outings here. We'll get cut, and then we'll go sign again somewhere else here, or maybe we'll get what's a lot.
We'll get a
of people think is
one-day
gonna
contract
happen.
in the Braves.
Yeah, he'll sign the 1 day with the Braves and go from end
Yeah.
his career right there. Which, you know what?
Yeah.
I would love that too. That would actually
Yeah, I'd
be
be fine
fun.
with it. Yeah. Anyways, we are going to continue our positional rankings. We are moving across the diamond to the hot corner, third base. This was personally when I was younger, I wanted to be like David Wright, so I wanted to play third base. Turns out I'm not very good at playing there, but yeah, we're over at third base. This is actually if you wouldn't believe it, it's a surprisingly deep position. I had a hard time picking my five. I had a clear number one, but picking 2 to 5 was pretty difficult. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into this.
Yeah. So I have.
yeah.
We don't have our normal graphics man here,
We do
so
not.
I'm gonna show you what the list was originally going to look like as a show of make sure that you make sure that oh, I can't show it anymore. No. Oh, I had it set up here. Okay, yeah. The original graphic looked much worse than what I'm about to show you here, but now it looks like this now. So
That's
again,
pretty great.
I mean, I had a little bit of fun. So yeah, definitely don't look at all the tabs that I'm. Oh no, Pokemon. Oh no, the different tabs. Oh no, all the different stats. Anyway, cool. Hey there. Now we're back at this.
Great.
So made a little bit of a list here for y'all. And for those of you that just saw my search history, I am sorry for your eyes. Anyway, with that being said, we'll make sure that we'll get splashes on here next week. Here.
Yeah.
But
all right. Alex, why don't you get us started? Who's your number 5 third baseman?
sure, I'll start things off here, but I also want to make sure that I give a couple honorable mentions in there.
Same.
Here. So right now, I think my main honorable mentions I want to say I do not have Matt Chapman in my list. I don't have Austin Riley in my list. I do not have my main boy Eugenio Suarez in my list. And also, because I do legitimately think he probably would have gotten MVP votes last year if he did not get hurt, I'm not including Isaac Paredes in my list. He's not a good defensive third baseman, but the man can hit home runs, and especially with the short porch there. So, with that being said, my number 5, I have the one and only Michael Garcia.
Ooh, nice.
This one took a little bit of coercing myself to do because I still don't really think that he is honestly that amazing, but he really proved a lot of people wrong last year. I still remember when he was playing for the Phillies, right? And
that's Maikel Franco.
Oh, it's Maikel Franco. Oh my gosh. Michael Garcia is still great. Look, I am a journalist and I know what I'm talking about. No, I just brain fart on that part. But anyway, Michael Garcia, only about 24, 25 years old, still very early in his career. And in a surprisingly deep third base class that we have right now, there's a reason why I had 4 honorable mentions here. His stats over the course of the next year were extremely strong. I'm just getting a couple things taken care of here. And as we watch what he is going to do going forward, the steamer projections on him have him at a 3.5 Fangraphs WAR here and a strikeout percentage of only 14.6 and an average of 275. Honestly, I like that a lot. I think he is one that is going to surprise a lot of people as we go into the 2026 season.
So, yeah, I have a few honorable mentions. Austin Riley is not on the list. If Austin Riley stays healthy,
right?
There's he'd easily be top 5. But it's his second straight year where his bat hasn't quite been there and he's gotten hurt. Eugenio Suarez was a tough one. Max Muncy actually has the highest WRC plus of any third baseman with at least 300 plate appearances. But
is it a third baseman though?
So yeah, he. The thing is, he should be more of a DH because his defense is not good.
Yeah,
he'd be playing first base, except they have this guy named Freddie Freeman on the roster.
I hear he's pretty good.
He's all right, but The first guy off, unfortunately for me, is Garcia.
Yeah.
I really wanted to put him on my top 5, but I need to see him prove that this year was not a fluke with the bat.
Yeah. Right.
You know, I think he possesses the potential to be a great third baseman. He proved this year he was great. He had 5.6 FWAR, but I need to see him have another above average season at the plate.
Right.
Then we could put him there.
Because
his glove isn't that great
yeah.
either.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. So I have Matt Chapman at number 5. I was talking about how I need to see more from Garcia, but Chapman, if you wouldn't believe it, for all of the flaws he has in his offensive game, has never had a WRC plus below 100 in any season of his career. Career 118. He was right in line with that this year, 118 WRC plus. His glove, while not platinum glove level, was still above average. Still one of the best defensive third basemen in baseball, in my opinion, with this year 4 outs above average. I know he had 11 the year before that. So you still see the high level of defense he displays. The thing that impresses me also is that his walk rate went up to 13% this year, which is a career high, even higher than his Oakland days. And he also dropped his strikeout to 23.6%, which is the lowest it's been since 2019. So even if his offense stays in like the 110 to 120 range, his glove is still strong. He's still projected to have 4 FWAR this year on Zips, which is higher than what's projected for Garcia. And I think he does plenty with the bat. It's more than just he's a defense first guy. He can hit a bit. He can hit for power. In addition to playing a strong third base. And then I'm going to transition to my number 4 guy. And again, this is a guy I really wanted to put higher on the list, but this guy exceeded all expectations for me this year. Junior Caminero from the Rays nearly set a franchise record in home runs, single season home runs, 45 homers. And he did that with a strikeout rate under 20%. Slugged 535, 129 WRC plus. His glove sure is not great, but 4.6 FWAR. This guy, I could see him being a perennial 30 homer bat. He's projected to hit 36 on Fangraphs this year. He drove in 110 runs this year. He does hit the ball on the ground a lot, which is a tad bit concerning, but he also has an average exit velocity of 92 miles per hour, a hard hit rate of over 50%. So I'm really high on Caminero. I could easily see him being number 3 or number 2 next year, or heck, maybe even number 1. But yeah, I have him at number 4.
I don't see him anywhere near number 1 just because I think that number 1 is very, 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 very good at baseball.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Caminero was only 22, so he could take that big leap at any point.
This is absolutely true. My number 4 here, I'm going with the guy that's currently on my screen here, and that's Manny Machado. Like, I think Machado is so interesting right now because he has been one of the most interesting cases, right? Where go back just a few years ago, and he was this hot commodity, right? It feels like his days on the Orioles were forever ago, right? Like
8 years ago now.
Don't make me feel old, please. I was just starting with the California Winter League at that time. Yay. But no, and it's weird to see how far he's kind of fallen, but at the same time, he's still really good. He's actually matured a lot in the last several years, and now we get to see him on a team that has a lot of really good talent on it. Here, take a look at the Steamer projections here. He has a projected walk percentage of over 10% and a strikeout percentage of only 14%. He has got really good control of the bat and a WRC plus of 121, a 3.8 projected WAR on Fangraphs. We have seen this guy. He's getting a little bit older now. Like, don't get me wrong. He's not, a Junior Caminero here, but he is still I think this is now the right time to use the term a stalwart over at third base. There was a lot of talk that he should be, a shortstop. There's some talk that he should, go be at first base. No, this dude is incredible at third. He is darn good. He's got the bat, he's got the glove here, and he's a veteran. Like, he 100% deserves to be on the list. Honestly, I thought about putting him higher on the list, but that was because for my number 3, I went with Junior Caminero. Like, I think the main thing I like about him overall is the power. The power for him is just absolutely undeniable. And that's what makes me so excited for him. Like, we watched him in the home run derby last year, right? He went for his own at being 21, 22 years old. Here, he was nuts. And as you watch him still, he's 22 and getting 30 homer seasons. If he keeps that going, we have a conversation for being number 2, like potentially even next year. But I like you said here, I need to see a little bit more here. Fangraphs actually has him projected as the number 2 third baseman this year, only behind one certain person on the screen that I'm definitely not hovering my mouse over. But I mean, I find it really hard to ding him on really. It's hard to ding him on things here. I guess the biggest ones here, like you said, he hits the ball on the ground a good bit. He is not projected to walk a whole time. He strikes out a good bit. But when he hits the ball, which is a lot, by the way, it's not like he has a poor average or anything like that. He hits the ball hard and he's getting extra bases with it. The defense is also not bad. It's not amazing, don't get me wrong, but he's feeling the position the way that you need to be here, in a way where like, okay, I don't feel you're a liability at third. But what makes him truly special is the bat of his. So I was talking to some people. A lot of people are very high on him. I am high on him too, but they were saying that he's number 2 right now. I don't think he's quite there yet. He's almost there. It's kind of like with Michael Garcia, right? He might be higher when we prove that this year was not a fluke, just like we had in one of our last conversations here, that some of these players that are, like, for me, Nick Kurtz, right, at first base, I know they're dang good. I just want to see it prove it.
Yeah, that's the thing is Caminero, he got kind of robbed of a true rookie season, I feel like, because he got injured the year prior, but he possesses so many great tools. If he could just improve his defense, I mean, this is a guy who originally was projected to be a shortstop. I think long term he's probably more of a third baseman, but I really like watching this dude play, and I think he's a star in the making. I mean, if he's not already a star, that home run derby battle between him and Cal Raleigh was really special to watch. He's a super exciting player. I mean, this is a guy. I know was it yesterday we found out our MLB 26 cover athlete. I think Junior Caminero is a guy who in the future could be a cover athlete guy.
By the way, Cal Raleigh got robbed. Cal Raleigh 100% should have been the cover athlete.
There a lot of people I think got robbed there, but that's a conversation for a different time.
That's a conversation for a different time. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Moving over to my number 3 third baseman, I went with Alex Bregman. Bregman, man, number one thing for me, stay healthy, please. When he is on the field, we saw what he could do. I mean, he was a 125 WRC plus guy again, which, all right, maybe he's no longer a 150 or 160 WRC plus guy, but 3.5 F4 in 114 games. That's the thing, 114 games. He played only 91 and 21. He missed time in 2024. He was clearly battling something late in the year in 24, but he got his offensive production back up closer to where it was in 2022 and 2023. Still very strong at third base, 3 outs above average. Again, in the smaller sample size, that's pretty good. His walk to strikeout ratio, 10% walk rate, 14% strikeout rate. That's strong. I think the Cubs got a great guy here. You multiply that 3.7 out or 3.5 out over the course of a full season. That's about a 5 F4, which is strong. There aren't a lot of third basemen that can do that right now. So I think Bregman, he just consistently puts up solid numbers. Maybe he's not the star that he was when the Astros had some, what's the word to use there? Some help. But he's still, I think he's displayed that, he's consistently good, just a good player all around. He checks the boxes. So
absolutely,
the Cubs got a good player here. He's my number 3 third baseman. I've seen some people rank him higher. Yeah, I'll roll into my number 2 though, and I have Manny Machado at number 2, and I know Manny Machado is not quite the same player he was in 2018 or in 2022 even, but his bat still plays, still 123 WRC plus. His strikeout rate is still under 20%. His walk rate went up to 8.1%. I know that his glove has taken a step back, and that is what worries me a little bit. But this guy, year in, year out, you're getting a strong third baseman. By the way, his batted ball data was great this year. 51% hard hit rate, average exit velocity of 92.5. His expected stats weren't that far off from what his actual stats were. And also he cut his ground ball rate down and his fly ball rate went up. So he's really tapping into that power. I mean, we're looking at a guy who could reach 400 home runs this year. He's at 360, I believe 369 after this year. So 31 to go. My thing with Manny Machado, and I got to see him do this at Citi Field this year, he is cash money with the bases loaded. He has a very real chance to break that record. I believe Manny Ramirez is the all-time leader, or I think it's A-Rod. A-Rod is the all-time leader in Grand Slams, and Machado's going to get close to him by the end of his career. He is getting up there in age. He's going to turn 34 in the middle of this year. Like I said, his defense is definitely taking a step back. He was actually below average this year with -6 outs above average, which worries me a bit. We're probably going to see him DH a couple more times this year. He's had health concerns in recent years, but Manny Machado, in my opinion, has done enough to still be the second best third baseman in baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think overall Machado is just that good. Like, let's be real here. We've been talking about Manny Machado being in the top 5 here for years, right? Like, it's not a surprise to see him on this list. In fact, he's probably made a home on this list, if we're being honest. But yeah, the only reason why I had him lower on this is that I like the potential of Caminero, and there's another player at number 2 that I like begrudgingly I'm starting to really like here, and that's one Mr. Alex Bregman. And yes, this hurts me. No, I'm kidding. I can't find a bad thing to say about him. Legitimately. Aside from, being a former Astro, being part of all that, from what I hear, he's a good guy to be around. He likes working with others. He is dominant with the bat and in the field. He checks all the boxes. That's the thing. He is basically like Miguel Garcia, but more consistent. He's like Manny Machado, but a little bit younger, and I can rely on him a little bit more. He's like Junior Caminero, doesn't hit ball as hard, but is a lot more consistent here. He is a true professional. That's, I think, the best way to describe Alex Bregman here. He is a true, consummate professional. He hits the ball extremely well. He fields the ball extremely well. There are no problems with him in the clubhouse. Any clubhouse he has been in, he has helped them win. That's my main thing when it comes to breaking.
He is a strong case to be number 2. Look, I heavily considered it. I think I value Machado's track record with the bat a little more, but Bregman, I mean, that's the thing, is that I've never heard a teammate say something bad about him.
Yeah, exactly.
The only reason people have held things against him was because he was on the Astros when they were cheating in 2017. And I mean, who knows what was going on in 2018, 2019, but that's the only thing people have against him, is the whole thing of being on the Astros when they were cheating. Like, exactly. Everyone else, he was, he only spent a year in Boston, and Boston fans loved him. I mean, they're probably still hurting from him signing with the Cubs. Yeah. But I can tell you right now, the Cubs and their fans are going to love him. I think there are a lot of young guys on the Cubs that are going to learn a ton from having him on the roster. They had a guy like that with Justin Turner this year. They also had Carlos Santana late in the year. But I think Bregman, I know he is, I guess, sort of on the younger side because he's in his early 30s, but I think he's a natural leader both on and off the field for that team.
Truly. All right, so let's go to our, I think at this point, joint number one here. Our Lord and Savior, Ben Williamson, baby!
Yeah, dude, how'd you know?
Ben Williamson, the best in the business! Okay, fine.
I mean, I had Ben Williamson.
All right, sounds good. So, Ben will... No. All right. It's...
Yeah, I think we have the same person.
There's no way that we don't have Jose Ramirez.
Yeah. Okay, glad we
one.
agree there.
Like, look, just to make things easier, I'm just gonna do this for a little bit of fun. Here, I'm gonna just draw a little line. Here we go. Got draw one more line here. Going. Yep, there we go.
Graphic design is our passion.
Graphic design is my passion. No. I mean, what more do you really need to say? This guy has been so underrated. It's weird to say that he's underrated, but he is. You just kind of forget about him. You keep forgetting how good he is. Here, you just kind of take it for granted at this point. But a switch hitting third baseman with power, defense, he's a franchise icon. I don't think there's really any other better way to say it. He is the best third baseman in all of baseball. I don't know why my graphic is now deciding to go off to the side here, but okay, fair enough, I guess. It's like Jose Ram here as there we go, I can spell. So, I mean, what do we need to say here? At this point, a lot of these lists here that we have done have felt like you've had like a 1A, 1B at the top of the list or like a ABC. There is Jose Ramirez and then there's everyone else. Like, no disrespect to anybody on this list here, right? But he's just from a different world. Like, I don't know what more we need to say. Even he is from a different world.
Yeah, I mean, you can rely on this dude to go out there, give you 30 homers, 100 RBIs, and chances are over 30 steals too every year. And he's not a guy who strikes out a lot too. He only had an 11% strikeout rate, 9.8% walk rate this year, which is great. And it was up from his 2024 numbers. His strikeout rate was down. He still hit 30 homers, stole 44 bases, and I know people are like, oh my God, we're tired of the whole underrated shtick, but you look at his counting stats for his career, for my counting stats guys out there. Currently, he has 285 homers, 949 RBIs, 398 doubles, which is crazy also, and 287 steals. So we're looking at a guy who probably by the end of this year, if everything goes as planned, will have over 300 homers, over 400 doubles, over 1,000 RBIs, and over 300 steals. And still playing. I know that he's not like an elite defender at third base anymore, but he's still a solid defensive third baseman. And he's been that basically his entire career. So I feel like we shouldn't be taking this guy for granted. A true 5-tool player. I know that he is undersized for a big leaguer, being only 5'8", 190, but there's a very good case. He's the best third baseman of this generation. And it's crazy because this is a loaded position this generation. You have him, you have Machado, you have Nolan Arenado, Evan Longoria, Matt Chapman. We could even maybe throw Austin Riley into this conversation, Alex Bregman. There's so many great third basemen that we've seen the past 10 to 15 years, and he's starting to rise above the rest of them. So we're looking at a surefire future Hall of Famer, I feel like. And
absolutely.
Look, Manny Machado is also a future Hall of Famer. We can have the conversations eventually about Bregman, and heck, maybe Chapman even too. But I think that Ramirez has really solidified himself as a slam dunk Hall of Famer. Coming from a guy who was originally moved off shortstop because they had Francisco Lindor to becoming the best player on this roster that's had a decent amount of success. They've continually been a postseason contender, winning the division, winning a round or two. I know they didn't this year, but also the other thing that really stands out to me about Jose Ramirez is that he just signed another extension to stay in Cleveland. Another one that an AAV of under $30 million on the deal. He's going to be a one-team guy. And this is a roster that has seen so much turnover. Lindor is gone. Michael Brantley left. Corey Kluber got traded. So many of their stars did not stay. But Ramirez looks like he's going to be a lifetime Guardian. And I think this is a guy, he'll have a statue built for him. He'll have his number retired. They're going to roll out the red carpet for this guy when his career is over. Because really, he is one of the best of all time.
Truly. Like, I don't feel like it's even hearsay to say at this point that he is the third baseman of the 2020s. Like,
oh yeah, by now, easily,
and we still have a few more years of that. I mean, we're halfway through the 2020s, and to be fair, go back even further because he's been this good for a while now. Like, again, we thought it was going to be lights out for him when Lindor left, right? Because, by the way, just remember that Jose Ramirez and Francisco Lindor used to be on the same infield. Just anyway.
They combined to hit almost 80 home runs one year.
Oh my gosh. And yet they said, we can get rid of Lindor.
And they won 0 playoff games that year. It's really disappointing, honestly.
Honestly, yeah, it is. But regardless on that here, this guy, when Lindor left, a lot of people thought that he was going to be the next one out the door, or that Ramirez was going to have a downgrade because he wasn't going to have his guy there to help his production. Jose Ramirez has gotten better without Lindor there. He has become this truly high-dimensional player. And that's what's so impressive about his game. He's undersized. He is shown that he does not have what it takes to be a Major League Baseball player, except he's an MVP candidate. He is one of the best out there. And just to give an idea, right? The reason why this man does not have an MVP to his name here, and probably won't for his career, is because there's a guy out there named Aaron Judge or Cal Raleigh,
exactly,
or Shohei Ohtani, that it just kind of makes it impossible because we really are kind of spoiled right now. There are so many great players in the game, but there's also just some that take the word great and then step it up another notch to get into the legendary status. Jose Ramirez should be in that conversation. It just kind of gets lost because he doesn't have the accolades because it's almost impossible for him to.
Yeah, it's crazy because you look at his baseball reference page. He's gotten third MVP voting 3 times. He's gotten second once. He's gotten fourth once. He's gotten fifth once. He also has a year where he got 6th. He has a year where he got 10th. In 2016, before he was like a true superstar, he was 17th. So I feel like it's reminding me of like Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado, and the way that those guys also always were like finalists or getting close to winning MVP, but never actually got it. And Goldie eventually did get his MVP award. I'm just wondering if Jose Ramirez will ever get one. And it's a tough part where I feel like I honestly wonder if our generation hasn't appreciated the greatness that we've witnessed enough. Because we're in an era where we have Jose Ramirez, we have Aaron Judge, we have Shohei Ohtani. I mean, now we have Cal, who's a superstar catcher. We have Mike. We've had Mike Trout. Like we've had so many great players. I just wonder if we haven't appreciated them all enough. But
absolutely not. Especially when you go and take a look at the 2010s eras here, where the only superstars out there were Miguel Cabrera and Mike Trout. And maybe a Kershaw if he decided to show up that day. Like, we do not appreciate the stars that we have. I'm actually going to show my age a little bit more here, and I'm going to make the comparison of him to the Fairly Odd Parents in a very, very niche, very niche one. There's an episode where the superhero of it, the Crimson Chin, goes up against the Bronze Kneecap, and his entire thing is that he always finished third, and so he took his revenge after he got injured to make a kneecap out of all the bronze medals he had won here. And I'm like, that kind of feels like Jose Ramirez right now.
Yeah, kind of.
He's a villain. I'm just saying, he's just always there. Man, I am I'm shocked I was able to make a Fairly Odd Parents reference here in
Dude.
Lost Above Replacement.
Fairly Odd Parents dude, that's such a great show.
That was the show of my childhood. That was
I
number one.
remember when my older nephew, Preston, I think, was hanging out here. He may have been like 3 at the time, but like we just threw on the TV and he wanted to watch Fairly Odd Parents. I'm like, all right, this kid gets it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, at that point, you're sitting down with that kid and you're having yourself a great time.
I say that's one of the shows that was always on my television growing up. Anyways,
Right
those are our
top.
Yeah, exactly. But those are our top 5 third basemen. Let us know at LAR_baseball on Twitter and Instagram if you agree or disagree. Maybe you want to tell us your own top 5 third basemen. Maybe you want to tell us what your favorite TV show was growing up.
Yeah, let us know your favorite childhood cartoon.
Yeah, exactly.
It absolutely is Fairly Odd Parents, unless you want to count anime, quote, animation stuff. Like,
I was going to say, did like Pokemon, does that count? Like,
no. Here's the it's weird because Pokemon falls in like this really weird like gray area because it's not quite anime, but it's also not quite a cartoon. It is smack dab in the middle of both.
Yeah. Anyway, it's time for trivia. Alex, you said you prepared something for me. So
yep, I've got something. Make sure you don't have any notes about free agents because that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Not.
Good, because what we are going to do, I currently have Spot Rack open of the 2026 free agents that are still available. Okay?
Great.
Want to make sure I'm clear about that.
Yep.
Still available here. I want you to start from the top, and I will give you the position of the player here. You need to tell me the most expensive still available according to market value AAV.
Oh boy. Okay.
So I will tell you, like I said, I will give you 3 strikes. I just want to see how far you'll get on this. Because honestly, you could go nowhere, you could go a while. I have no idea. But I will tell you the position of the player.
Yeah.
I will tell you their age and what the market value is.
Okay. Sounds good.
And do you feel like you would need any more help than that?
I don't think so.
I'll tell you what. I'll also give you their like handiness.
Okay. Sounds good.
Because I want to make sure you at least get like a good chunk through. Okay.
All right. Perfect.
Cool. The first one here is a starting pitcher here, age 32 here with a market value of $33,318,377 and is a lefty thrower.
Framber Valdez.
That is correct. It is Framber Valdez.
Yeah, of course.
Next up is a starting pitcher at 31 years old. Here, a market value AAV of $20,445,007 and is a righty.
Zach Gallen.
That is incorrect. That is your first strike.
You said he's.
Why you'd say it? It's very close.
You said he's a righty.
He is a righty.
Lucas Giolito.
That is correct. It is Lucas Giolito.
Okay.
Next up here.
Disrespectful.
I absolutely agree. Anyway, again, blame Spot Rack, not me.
All right.
Your next one here, starting pitcher. Here, 30 years old here, an average annual value of $18,712,876, and is a righty thrower.
Okay, that's got to be Zach Gallen.
That absolutely is Zach Gallen.
Okay.
And now the next one. Guess what? Another starting pitcher.
Oh my God, shocker.
Here. So, by the way, this kind of goes back into the Mets conversation we had earlier. Of there's still plenty of pitching on the market. This is a starting pitcher, 36 years old, almost 37. A market value AAV of $15,554,188, and he's a right-hander.
I'm going to assume this is Chris Bassett.
That absolutely is Chris Bassett.
Oh, that's a lot of money for him, but okay.
Yeah, especially at 36 years old.
Yeah.
All right, we finally have our first position player.
Oh,
this is a third baseman at 34 and a half years old here. Average annual value at $14.9 million. I'm just going to round to the point to make it easy to say. Here, and he is a righty.
Eugenio Suarez.
The GOAT himself, Gino. That is correct. All right, next up. Like, I want to talk more about Gino on another podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up here, we have another starting pitcher at 30 years old, a market value of $14.9 million, is a right-hander.
What?
This is
Okay.
where I think you're going to get a little bit tripped up.
Yeah. Oh my. Okay. Now I have to think of like guys who are even free agents still. He's a 30-year-old starting pitcher.
That is correct.
Oh my god. Who even is on the market these days? Because the only people I can think of are old, like really old.
I can give you, if you get a strike, I will give you the team he last played for.
Okay.
I want like at least a guess.
I know it's not Justin Verlander or Max Scherzer because they're both in their 40s.
I'll give you that. That is correct.
I'm trying to think because Mesmerize does like free agent profiles, and I'm like trying to think of the other starting pitchers they put out there. Okay, is it is it Zach Littell?
It is not Zach Littell. All right. The team that he most recently played for was the Cubs.
Was the Cubs?
The Cubs.
What in the world? Who was on the Cubs this year? Okay, they already
a lot of
re-signed
players were. In fact, 26 players are
Yeah.
roster.
Okay, Schulte they brought back. Jameson Tyon is on like a 4-year deal. Cade Horton was their other starter. Matt Boyd. You said he's a right.
Why do I feel like this is wrong? Like I
You
know
said he's a righty?
Yes, he is a righty.
And what was his AAV?
Okay, I'm going to change up something. It is I just clicked on his name as well, so slightly different, and it also labels him as also a relief pitcher.
What?
Yeah, it's weird. On the website, it says starting pitcher, but
okay, now so it could be a reliever. Are we sure he's still a free agent? That's my question.
I mean, it under the list is still signed under the available tab.
Okay, so he could be a reliever too.
Mm-hmm.
He's a righty. Oh my god, I'm honestly stumped here because like I'm not even sure. Like
I do find it. Never mind. No,
yeah, what?
No, I was about to say like I'm surprised you haven't guessed another name here, but I forgot you had. So
yeah, I'm completely lost on this.
okay. I want to see if there's any other help I can give you because I want you to go a little bit further.
Because I'm like, who the heck could this be? Because like Brad Keller was their best reliever this year, but he already signed with the Phillies, so it can't be him. Mike Soroka signed with the Diamondbacks, so it can't be him either. What in the world?
Wait, what the heck?
Colin Ray, I think already re-signed.
Okay. I don't know what the heck is going on here. It's
what?
Wait. Something is a little bit messed up here on this. I'm just going to tell you right now because I'm clicking on the name here and it's giving me conflicting information about this player. Here, because I'll just tell you right now, the name was Aaron Savale.
Is he a free agent?
Yeah. But it says, I think he may have gotten signed a bit ago. I'm not sure. Because when I click on it here, I'll show this. I'm going to show my screen to this here. So Aaron Savale here lists as starting pitcher, Chicago Cubs here. But I click on his name here, and it now says Cubs up here, and it also says Brewers for 2025, though.
He did play for the Brewers. He played for the Brewers and the White Sox.
Then why does it say Cubs?
Yeah. He's still he's unsigned. Yeah. Damn.
Okay.
How did I mess that up?
I don't know, man. I mean, to be fair, that feels still weird. Well, with that being said here, so I'll tell you what, if you want to, let's move on.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if you saw the list past it.
I did not.
Okay, cool. So the next one is another starting pitcher at 35 years old. Market value at $14.2 million, right-hander.
How old did you say?
35.
35. Okay. So veteran.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
Again, this is tough. Um, righty, you said, or
Right-hander, yes.
right-hander? Okay, that makes things a little tougher because the number one name that popped in my head was a lefty. Uh, okay, I might need the previous team.
All right, previous team for this one is Cincinnati.
Oh, is this Zach Littell?
No, this is Nick Martinez.
Okay, that's 3 strikes. I'm out.
I was really hoping you were going to get to the next one at the very least, because the next one is a second baseman at 28 years old with a market value of 14.1, left-hander.
Second base?
Yeah, it lists him as a second baseman. I don't think he should be.
I got nothing there, dude.
It's Luis Reyes.
Oh my god.
They're listing him as a second
14
base. I'm like,
million?
no, please
Dude.
do not list him as a second baseman.
That dude does not play second base. He doesn't have a position.
I was like, okay, are you sure, Spot Rack? Like, I understand he has played second base. That does not mean he is a second baseman. He is a DH and maybe first baseman, depending on.
He doesn't play any position particularly well.
He does not.
He
And
has
then the
like
next
zero
one-
market.
And then the next one is Marcell Ozuna
I'm
here,
shocked
and
at
then
that.
it's Zach Littell. Zach Littell has a market value of 12.8 million.
All right, out of curiosity, where are Verlander and Scherzer on here?
Way far down.
Because Verlander was
Scherzer
actually
and
good in the
So
second half.
Max Scherzer at 41 and a half years old. Market value is at 8.9 million. And Justin
Okay.
Verlander is right below him, 42 years old, at
How is he-
7.8 million.
How is he lower market value? He was the better pitcher this year. I know that
Well,
he's
I
about
wanna-
to turn 43.
What I want to know here on top of it is why are some of these other pitchers below them? Yeah, like or guys, like I don't know, Max Kepler, Rhys Hoskins is below
Well,
them. Paul
Max
Goldschmidt.
Kepler just got a PED suspension, so that's why he's
that
low.
makes sense. That makes sense then. Here, but the other name that jumped at me was Tyler Anderson, where I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
dude is consistent. I like him. I like him a lot. Honestly, it would be really fun to do like a who's higher on market value type quiz here. We're like, all right, give me who is higher between David Robertson and Carlos Santana.
Two veteran mercenaries.
Two veteran mercenaries.
I
Two
think David Robertson
legends
doesn't
of
wanna-
their craft.
David Robertson said he doesn't really want to sign on opening day, or he doesn't want to sign by opening day. He wants to wait it out. But
That's honestly
And-
funny.
apparently, that's what Scherzer might do. If he said if the opportunity doesn't present himself, he might wait until the middle of the year to
This is
sign.
gonna
Which,
sound kind of weird, but it feels like Max Scherzer is the baseball equivalent of like Aaron Rodgers. Like says a lot of things randomly that just don't seem to make coherent sense, but is still one of the greatest.
yeah, I know. I guess it's kind of like Verlander too.
Mhm.
Like both. I mean, they've both reached the point, and I mean, I guess you'd say that about Rodgers too. But like, they've reached the point where they're going into the Hall of Fame, but now they're just like bouncing around trying to like see what opportunities they can get. So yeah, I mean, I do see the comparison there.
Yeah. Honestly, that'd be fun just to make like really funny, like again, pairings here of players that, oh yeah, that makes sense, I guess, why you put those two together.
Yeah, now we got to find a baseball LeBron. Like I don't know who that could be yet. I
What
mean,
do you
LeBron.
mean like a baseball, like an absolute GOAT even in the 40s?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
All right, the closest according to that's
Barry
still
Bonds.
available to this, is Marcell Ozuna at 35.
That doesn't work.
Oh no, sorry, Chris Bassett at 36.
All right, yeah, sure. Because as I say,
Yeah.
like LeBron, like yeah, he bounced around to the Lakers, but like he's still pretty. Like yeah, he's still hurt. Like he's gotten hurt a couple times. But, like he's
Absolutely.
41 years old and still, honestly, he's still playing like a dude in his 30s or even his 20s.
Dude is absolutely solid, man.
Yeah.
Who has a higher value between Chris Taylor, former Seattle Mariner infielder, and Paul Sewald, former Seattle Mariner closer.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how close it is.
Really?
Yeah, Chris Taylor has a value
Taylor
of
fell off a cliff.
Yeah, he has a value of 5.4 million. Paul Sewald is 4.3.
Oh wow. Anyways, that'll do it for trivia. That was fun.
Needed a little bit of fine tuning, but we got there.
Yeah. Anyways, it's time for the moment to ourselves. 60 seconds or so to talk about whatever the heck is on our minds. So, Alex, do you want to go first, or
I would prefer to go second this time?
All right. I'll go first then.
All right, I'll count you down. All right, 3, 2, 1, begin.
Yeah, I need to say it. The Knicks need to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. They need the Greek Freak, like, really badly. I think it's more so about preventing someone else in the conference from getting him. He is still elite, still an MVP caliber player, and I think he could take them over the top. He's clearly unhappy with the situation in Milwaukee. They need to pony up and get him and prevent an Eastern Conference rival from getting him. It's just plain and simple. I know it's going to be a steep price. Just do it. Again, it's like, whoever trades for Tarek Skubal in baseball, you have to pay the price to get an elite player. It's a guy who will take you over the top and will give you a shot to win a championship. So they better work the phones and get that done.
Yeah, I absolutely get that. Again, I do not have a basketball team, so I have no horse in this race. All I do have is the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
I will say, I did see the Antetokounmpo brothers came to a Syracuse basketball game when I was in grad school.
Okay,
that was pretty cool. They walked by me in the 200 section of the dome. Well, no, they cleared a path so they could walk through, but it's pretty cool. They're both very large in person. I'll say that.
Yeah, Wonder basketball players.
Yeah. All right, Alex.
All right, sounds good. Count me down.
Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, it's obvious I was going to talk about this. Rick Riz, Mariners legendary broadcaster, announcing his retirement after a 41-year career with Seattle. And when the news broke, I'm not going to say shocked, because I think a lot of people knew that this was going to be happening within the next some amount of years. But it hurts still. He was the voice of a team that I love so dearly, and you cannot say the Mariners without also saying Rick Riz. Like, the two are absolutely connected at the hip. And when Dave passed away, it was his job to carry on that legacy of an amazing broadcast team, and brother, he did it by leaps and bounds. Rick Riz, in my opinion, is still one of the greatest to ever do it. He is a true class act, someone that is a humanitarian, someone that has made a living out of making people feel happy, about sharing his passion in a professional landscape, in a professional manner, while still being the voice of reason, and a happy voice that when you heard his voice get a little bit higher, when something good was happening, you knew to get excited. You knew that whenever he was on the broadcast, he was going to have fun. You knew that you were going to have fun listening to him. Even if you were getting blown out, you would still get to hear Rick tell stories. You would still get to hear Rick talk about these players that he's gotten to call for so many years. And he was one of my inspirations for broadcasting. I currently am wearing this jersey, and there's a reason why I wore this jersey today. For those that know me, my heroes growing up were Dave Niehaus and Rick Riz. This is my Dave Niehaus jersey, signed by Rick Riz. And I have a few things kind of to say. And Rick, I know you'll probably never watch this. I would love you to. But thank you so much for everything that you have done over the course of your career, to all the millions and millions of people that you have touched, and you have shared your love of the game and your energy and knowledge of the game, proving as well that you do not need to be this professional athlete to be on the mic, that you can be a journalist and you can be one of the best to ever do it. Cooperstown already will have a place for you in the Ford C. Frick section right next to your partner, Dave Niehaus. You have done amazing work. If this opens up a spot in the broadcast section for Seattle, I would love the opportunity to even potentially try to follow the legacy that you and Dave both set forth. This is something that means so much to me. Rick, your retirement is so well deserved. I can't even begin to mention how much you deserve it. Dave did not get to retire. He was doing it until the day he died. You, on the other hand, are making the right choice to step away to make sure you still have time for your family and your activities and yourself. And you can do it with your head held high. You've done it for 40 plus years. You've made people happy. You have made people enjoy this beautiful game of baseball. If people that are listening, if you haven't already, just go look up some Rick Riz highlights. There's a lot of them. Trust me, there's a lot of them. And you will understand everything that I'm talking about. Someone that is already, like, you Google the name Rick Riz, and one of the first things that comes up is legendary broadcaster Rick Riz. Not just broadcaster, it's Mariner icon. It is legendary broadcaster, the ever faithful voice of the Mariners. This retirement is so well deserved. And in 2026, win it for Rick.
I mean, this is a guy who's been doing this for more than half of his life. Over 4 decades in the broadcast booth. I mean, that is really admirable longevity. This is a guy, I mean, you look back at his career, and he did leave Seattle at one point, but he came right back. And like, this is a guy I've grown to appreciate too, just as someone who started, paying a little more attention to the Mariners over the years. And his calls are great. I mean, I know the Mariners posted the one of when Cal Raleigh broke the drought, but he has a number of iconic calls in Seattle. Like,
just go on YouTube, you will see
exactly
numbers, troves of them. It's one of my favorite ones of all time is from 2001. It's Ichiro's The Throw. Everyone remembers Dave Niehaus. Yes. Everyone remembers Dave Niehaus going like, he just threw something out of Star Wars down there. But no one remembers that on the play-by-play for that was Rick. Yeah. It was Riz for it. And he said, the beautiful throw by Ichiro, beautiful peg, he got him!
Yeah, of course. I remember that, yeah.
Incredible.
Here, that's one of my favorite plays of all time. So.
Got him.
I've watched that highlight so many times.
Same. I've watched it more times than I can count.
Yeah, like any opportunity I get, I watch that highlight. It's
one of the most incredible feats. Like,
exactly.
That's for getting Terrence Long. Sorry, Terrence. Your one of your career highlights is
the number one career highlight. I think.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of players that have that dubious honor. Like Domingo Acevedo will always be remembered now as the person who gave up the home run that ended the drought. So
exactly.
Stuff like that.
Some people are just on those highlights. It's like,
and look, you know what? Understandable, and still have something to hang your hat on, right? It's still amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, look, the obviously everyone remembers Mike Piazza's home run, the first home game after 9/11. Yeah. The thing is, the guy who gave it up is Steve Carsey, a Queens native.
Oh,
it's.
I'm I'm trying to remember who was the name of the Yankee pitcher. One of the best, honestly, was amazing as their ace, but came in relief in '95. That gave up.
It was Jack McDowell.
Jack McDowell,
former Cy Young winner. Yeah,
guy is an amazing starting pitcher. Here,
Yeah.
just happened to give up a double at the best possible time for Seattle.
Well, yeah, it's like, you know, when people remember this World Series, like Shane Bieber gave up the home run to Will Smith in Game 7. Like,
right.
Shane Bieber is a Cy Young Award winner, but like he also, like, you know, he'll also be remembered for that.
Absolutely.
But like, yeah, I mean, look, I mean, Rick to you guys is what Howie Rose and Gary Cohen have been to us in New York. So yeah, I feel like, you know, every fan base has some type of bond with their home team's broadcaster, and it hits even more when they do it for so long, like Rick did. 41 years is really an illustrious career. And yeah, he will get that plaque in Cooperstown for sure.
And I don't know how, but I really desperately need Cooperstown. If you're listening, you better do this. Make room next to Dave's.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't know if it's possible, like, you know, to like mix and match some of them. Need the two of them together because they deserve to be put right next to each other.
Of course. Yeah.
You could not say one without the other. Here, when you think of Rick Riz, you also think of Dave Niehaus. When you think of Dave Niehaus, you also think of Rick Riz. That is
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yay.
Anyways, that'll do it for us today. Make sure to follow all of us on Twitter. Follow myself at Matthias_A_K. Follow Alex at the Sports Guy 242. Follow Splash at Mr. Splashman 19. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, great. Thank you for the views. Make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment, tell us why you think someone else is the best third baseman in baseball, or what your favorite cartoon was, or what you think about Freddy Peralta. Whatever it is, let us know. Leave us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening. But for all of us at LAR, thank you all for listening. Stay safe. I hope to see you all real soon. Thank you.
Go crazy, folks!